Zoltan Gera has finally announced his retirement at the age of 39. The Albion hero officially hung up his boots yesterday and was quoted as saying, "I've been thinking about it for some time and I've decided. My heart wants me to go on, my body said it's time to stop. I'd be the happiest if my career was to be an example for the footballers or tomorrow, as there is no ball lost on the pitch, there is no wasted life in football." Latest J. Rodriguez will not ask to leave West Brom this summer, according to reports. The striker bagged 11 goals last season and is attracting interest from Burnley. Rodriguez would like to move back to the Premier League side who qualified for the Europa League, and the interest is there. Albion rejected a £20 million bid for both the forward and his teammate Craig Dawson. And it's understood that Rodriguez will not kick up a fuss and ask to leave. The Independent are reporting that he is reluctant because he wants to show some respect to the club who stuck by him during accusations of racist abuse aimed at Brighton defender Gaëtan Bong this season. He does hope that an agreement can be found to allow him to return to the Northwest though. Elsewhere, Dawson and Ben Foster both failed to report to the Baggies' pre-season training camp in Portugal as a result of the club's tough stance on selling them. What's going on? West Bromwich Albion fans have had their say after it was reported that Ben Foster and Craig Dawson had refused to join up with their teammates on the pre-season training camp in Portugal. The pair are set to be dealt with internally by Albion, a report from The Telegraph stated. Both goalkeeper Foster and defender Dawson have been the subject of transfer speculation since Albion's relegation to the Championship. Their refusal to join their teammates on tour has only fueled suggestions that they could be on the move, and their behavior has left Baggies fans unimpressed. Daryl Lloyd, what the hell is going on at the Hawthorns? Andrew Kilgallen, those players underperformed as a group badly last season. No matter who the manager was, they decided to down tools for most of the season. They're under contract and should be made to stay and get us out of the mess they put us in. Mark Abel, the FA has to step in and sort this out. Players should not be allowed to breach contracts with no repercussions. Really poor from both players. Wolves and West Brom chase championship winger, reports Stuart Williams. If they want out, let them go. Invest in new players. We have already missed out on two apparent targets as usual. Also, this sporting technical director change isn't helping either. Matthew Cassidy, Fozza says, he wants to stay though. And for Dawson to want to leave this badly after all he's done for us, there must be a major reason. You have to ask yourself what's going on at our club, and can anything be done to stop it? Surely Greenhouse Ben Foster was all for staying on and wanted Big Dave to take the job. Rob Matthews, all depends on how the board are treating them though, to be honest. Paul Drinkwater, absolute joke, here we go again. Matt Skeldon, it appears his head has been turned. Yeah, are you know, like Claudio and Evans, they were given time off. But then we jumped to conclusions then too, sigh. Bolton, club is in disarray, will be lucky to avoid relegation, gone from a well-run club to a club with no ambition with an owner who hasn't a clue. Dominic Cox, we'll have no players left at this rate. West Brom dealt double transfer blow as pair reject Darren Moore's advances, reports who is Romain Sawyers. Minor setbacks, major comebacks, reads Romain Sawyers' Twitter bio. That's the story of his fledgling career, writes Alex Diggin. Sawyers signed his first professional contract at West Bromwich Albion at the age of 17. A promising playmaker in his youth, Sawyers starred as he worked his way through the ranks at the Hawthorns after joining Albion's academy in 2004. Injuries and a lack of opportunities at Albion led to Sawyers never making a first-team appearance for the Baggies. The managers he worked under clearly saw something, though, as it wasn't until Sawyers was 21 that the club finally decided to give up on this prodigious talent. His second home, Sawyers spent a short period on loan with Walsall at the end of the 2012-13 season and, despite only making one appearance, convinced Dean Smith to offer him a permanent contract upon his Hawthorns release. Smythe quickly became Sawyer's mentor, and the 26-year-old has made nearly all of his professional appearances under the guidance of the highly rated West Bromwich-born coach. Things weren't always rosy for Sawyers at Walsall. He often came in for stick, particularly when the team wasn't performing. Wolves fan reveals why he has a West Brom tattoo after picture goes viral. Part of that criticism arrived due to supporters not quite feeling he justified the emphasis Smith placed on his role within the team, while Sawyer's languid style often gave the impression he wasn't working as hard as some of his teammates. The latter was certainly untrue. Sawyer's physical stats didn't look dissimilar to any of his teammates. In fact, he covered more ground than most. Smith always saw Sawyers as an investment, like many of the young players he snapped up during his time as Walsall chief. Eventually, Smith's patience reaped rewards as Sawyers became the orchestrator of a promotion-chasing team in 2015-16. Smith left for Brentford in early December, but Sawyers continued to shine right up until his contract expired the following June. Inevitably, Sawyers, runner-up to Bradley Dack for 2015-16 League One Player of the Year, linked up with Smith at Griffin Park. Sawyers' transition to Championship football was seamless. The Brummie has flourished away from home and almost helped the Bees into the playoffs last term. On a personal level, Sawyers was named Brentford's Players' Player of the Year following his sterling midfield displays. Playing style: Sawyers is a unique footballer, and one that requires the total trust of his coach. Smith has confidence in Sawyers' ability and has enabled him to dictate the way both Walsall and Brentford have played in the last 5 seasons. West Brom's interest in Sawyers is perhaps an insight into the type of football Darren Moore wants to encourage. Sawyers won't challenge for hopeful punts up towards him and has never relished the ugly aspects of football, but he's easy on the eye and, when he's on song, can provide individual moments worthy of the entry fee. Passing is his forte. No matter how small the gap, Sawyers tends to be able to thread the ball through and pick out his man. Sawyers developed a telepathic understanding with striker Tom Bradshaw during their Walsall days and took pleasure in the Welshman bagging all the glory. St. Kitts. He'll admit he doesn't score as many as he should, but when he does they're often belters. West Brom transfer target joins Middlesbrough from Bristol City. The homecoming if Albion can persuade Brentford to part with Sawyers, with a reported bid of £3 million set to arrive in Bees owner Matthew Benham's pigeonhole, he'll undoubtedly consider returning to the Hawthorns. Sawyers has remained incredibly close with dozens of staff members at Albion and knows more better than most. Sawyers was coached by Moore in his youth, so it's no surprise Albion's boss wants to be reunited with his former prodigy. Albion face a battle to entice Sawyers away from Brentford, particularly with Smith in the hot seat at Griffin Park, but he'll find it tough to turn down a return to the place where it all began.